Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I am happy to have back on again Camilo EG. He has just shared a fantastic new track called Triunfo, and I'm super excited to have him on to talk all about it. I can't wait to hear about it. How are you doing today? It's been like a year and a half since we last spoke.
I'm doing really great. Talking to you from Mexico City,
Awesome.
stuck in traffic,
Lovely. And
but I'm doing
Mexico City
great.
is jam-packed with traffic all the time, from my experience. You haven't spent time in Mexico City if you're not sitting behind a bunch of cars. So
Right?
exactly. We could talk about traffic any time of the year. I want to talk about this song. It is fantastic, as I mentioned before we started recording. First thing I would love to know about is I want to know what it's about. There's a language barrier because you're speaking in Spanish, but it sounds beautiful, but I don't know what you're saying. So I would love to get a background on really what the song is about.
So originally wrote the song in English. Its English title was Victory March, and I translated the tune into Spanish. And it's about reclaiming your creativity, using your creativity to uh, have a sort of rebirth, to reach for something new that you hadn't reached for before, to know that you will be okay, uh, whether you're going through some difficult times, and that the sun will come out on the other end and you will be recharged and really could be much better on the other side. So it's a song about hope, faith,
Okay.
essentially.
That's actually one thing that I pulled from it just in the vocal delivery is it does feel very optimistic. It feels like, and listen, I took 4 years of Spanish in high school, so I know very minimal, but with my limited translations and even just like feeling the emotion of it, I can sense that and I really enjoyed it. Um, I also would love to, catch up and see what you've been up to. Like on the musical front, how has the last year been? We haven't spoke since your EP release.
Right. Since then, I got married, had a baby.
Hey,
So it
congrats.
took a. She's right here. It's
That's
Santana.
huge. Hello.
Or I took a little time off. Right before she was born, I recorded the song called Espacio Sideral
Hmm.
for her, also in Spanish. And that was just like a special release. I really only did it as a gift for her.
I love
But it's
that.
out in iTunes, Spotify, and if people want to listen to it, they can hear it. It's a cover. The original is by a Mexican artist called Jesse and Joy.
Okay.
So since then, that was released in January of this year. So what I did recently, what been doing, I recorded this song Triunfo with a long time called Chris Town at Capricorn Studios in San Diego, and another tune called Si Tu Te Vas, which is
Okay.
actually I'm going to drop that next week, next Friday.
Awesome.
The tooling of my very first single called Home. Uh, the original one was called Home in English. That one will be the Spanish version. So, getting my feet wet back into the music business with this release of Triunfo, then Si Tu Te Vas next week. And I've written songs. I have songs ready to go. And I'll go back into the studio, record those, and then looking for an EP release next year as well. And more videos will come along. So this is the
Awesome.
beginning of more releases.
I love that so much, man. Obviously, your priorities shift as you get married and have kids, but the love for the music never really stops. So I'm thrilled to see that you're like back on it and you're doing the thing. That's incredible. Um, More on this single, though, I definitely sensed a bit of a pivot in the sound. Like, I love the softer, more like not necessarily alternative rock, but just like more of a calming sensation from your music. I would love to hear from you if you had to sort of give an elevator pitch to someone who hadn't listened. How would you describe it genre wise, or how would you just describe it as a whole?
It is alternative, experimental. There is a touch of David Bowie
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
introduction and parts in the end. So there's a British inspiration as well, and a British roots uh, aspect as well. Some people have told me that it reminds them of the Killers, the instrumental part of it.
Okay.
So that's sort of I try to make it very dreamlike, very kind of surreal, especially in the middle where I come back in with the intro as a bridge
Sure.
and the piano comes in and then comes out, and my vocals sort of flow through the music. So I wanted to give
Yeah.
like of sorts.
That's amazing. Is this sort of maybe a hint of what we're going to experience on future singles? More of like this experimental
Yes,
atmospheric?
absolutely. I want to experiment with different microphones. As a matter of fact,
Sure.
at the end of the song, the last 45 seconds, you hear a lot of sound effects.
Right.
Those are all my voice. Uh,
Oh,
it's called a vocoder in the studio,
sure.
and I would just do different sounds, high pitched squeals or whispers. And Chris Town, the producer, he would take my vocals and turn them into semi electronic sounding sound.
Right.
In the future, I want to play a lot more with that, and do a lot more genre.
No, I like that a lot. Um, and it should probably go without saying for anyone who's going to listen, but I feel that the production quality really stepped up on this one. Like, if you're not listening with a nice pair of headphones or just like a nice sound system, there's so much you're missing out on. Don't get me wrong, it sounds great regardless, but like the intricacies, it's like your vision is coming to fruition on this song. I really enjoyed that part of it.
A lot of ear candy, and probably there are about 100 tracks,
Wow.
100 different layers through the whole piece.
That's that's wild. Have you found that, I guess, since the EP release that you've been either learning more or that your process has changed of creating a song as a whole?
I am learning more. Also, my voice has changed so
Yeah,
that I can take what I hear in my head and I can
sure.
replicate it better in real life. It flows better.
Yeah.
So one of the songs that I'll release, it's called "Ay Ay Ay," which was a sound my daughter made when she was eating one day, and she said it in a melodic kind of way. And I left the breakfast table, and then I started writing a song called "Ay Ay Ay." Used the melody from what she was doing, and now there's a whole 4 or 5 minute tune. It's a love song now.
I love that. She's gonna have this time capsule of music when she gets older and can comprehend it. And be like, yeah,
Exactly.
you were the inspiration for this and this and this. That's incredible, man. What is her name?
Aitana.
Aitana? Beautiful. Could see her in the background. She's like in the perfect
Crown.
spot. It's awesome. Obviously life is difficult and you're always busy in some capacity, but have you been playing shows? Or is it anything that you have in the works?
Uh, I played a show a couple of weeks ago. I gave a couple friends of mine a show for their wedding
Hey, that's
in San
beautiful.
Diego. It was beautiful. They got married in Balboa Park.
Ah,
Great
the
venue.
best.
If you all are familiar with San Diego, there's a place called Prado, right in Balboa,
Hmm.
and reunited with Lauren Wilson. She had done one of my previous songs called "Night and
Right.
Day" as a duet, and played with her and other new musicians, and it was a great show. So we'll try to carry that forward.
Nice.
And my goal is really to form a touring band and
Yeah.
take it out. So
That would be amazing. Yeah. That's such a nice venue. I'm born and raised in San Diego. I'm actually going down there right after this, so might just head to Balboa Park. We'll see. Very cool, very cool. Well, I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully, there are more shows in any capacity in the works. I feel that your music has this very like intimate feel to it, where you know you could really control an audience, like big or small, just like the seriousness of the music. So that would be amazing to see in person. Hopefully, I can see it one of these days.
yeah, I mean, I'd love to be at a show.
Absolutely.
And on a live show, my idea is to play less guitar, front man.
Sure.
So I'll have to show y'all what that looks like.
Absolutely. Well, considering that we're almost towards the end of the year here, just crazy to even admit, do you have plans for the next year? Like, is there anything that you would like to see happen, or just definitive things that you'd like to talk about?
So I will be submitting my music for some San Diego awards.
Okay,
See how that goes. And that award shows. I think it takes January. We'll see what happens with that. Um, I'll have a new song by the end of this year. That would be "Ay Ay Ay." That's the title.
sure. That has to be the title.
that has to,
That has to be it.
it, that's quite a beautiful song. So
I
I
mean,
love the
yeah,
irony of that title.
I know. That's the best.
Um, and again, shortly into the next year will be important for and playing live. Really, there are a lot
Amazing.
of great venues in San Diego.
Oh yeah. That's a thing, like LA gets all the oh, it's the best music town. San Diego's not far away. There's plenty going on down there.
Yeah, there's Casbah Music Box.
Yeah,
Some great
it's unbelievable. Yeah. So if you're in San Diego, check out Camilo. He's going to be there. Um, I have a couple more questions for you. I want to know, in your free time, what have you been listening to, and has what you've been listening to had any impact on the actual music that you're making?
There is an artist called Ricardo Arjona.
Hmm.
Um, he he is also influenced by Bruce Springsteen
Okay.
and my music. Now that I'm writing more in Spanish, singing more in Spanish, there is a very direct inspiration from that. Also, Bon Jovi released a record called 2020. 2020. That's kind of a melancholic, more of a singer-songwriting record as opposed to huge chorus sounding stuff from Slippery When Wet. So I was listening to a lot of that. Dead Sarah, band from LA actually. They're more of they're more of that punk rock, grunge scene.
Okay.
Record, and they're one of their newest singles called "Hypnotic."
Hmm.
It's a great single. Saw them live recently at one of their homecoming shows.
Okay.
Just been listening to New Muse record, which I'm a big fan of, and also a few months ago, released a single called "Participle." Saw them live here in Mexico City.
Nice.
That was
Very cool, man. Well, I got one more for you, and I'm not sure if you remember, but it is a very similar question to what we closed with last time. The question is basically for the person that is going to discover you from this, and for the person that's going to listen to your music for the first time, what is an opening message that you'd like to say to them?
my song about the spectrum of emotions. It's about hope, about overcoming whatever it is fighting against. But it's about feeling that aspect of being alive, that range. And I hope my music will make you feel what it is. And I've spent a lot of time and a lot of focus in tailoring over every word in my lyrics. My lyrics are very important to me.
I can sense that. That's amazing, man. Camila, I want to sincerely thank you so much for taking the time. You've given me both an insight on your music and a tour of Mexico City in the background. So I really enjoyed that.
Excellent.
Please, please let me plug your music for you one more time. For everyone out there, the song is called Triunfo. We will have links in the article so that people can listen and share and follow along and do all that fun stuff. But it also sounds like there's a ton more on the way, so stay tuned. And hey, man, I again thank you. I hope you have an amazing rest of your time down there and stay safe.
Appreciate it. You have a great day as well.
You as well, man. Tell the family I say hey. I'll talk to you later. All right, bye
Bye.
bye.